The F50, the Predator, and the Copa Pure II. These are Adidas' current flagship football boots, and in this video I'll be sharing with you a sizing guide to help you get the correct size. But before we get to the boots, there's 3 vital things that you need to know. The advice that I provide in this video is based on my foot shape, and my preferences. We're all different, we all have different preferences and different foot shapes, so apply yours accordingly. And just for reference, I wear UK 9.5, my feet in terms of width are quite slim, and my arch is low. Number 2 is to optimize the sizing to get the most out of your football boots. I've got a video on how to do that on my channel. Otherwise, you can actually go to a store, and if they have the facilities to do it, you can get your feet scanned electronically to get a more accurate reading. And number 3, your position is irrelevant. No matter what brands kind of allude to or what some people may say, it is impossible to make a football boot for a specific position. It's all about your preferences. So just wear what is comfortable and fits you well. Now with that out of the way, let's get to the boots. The Predator has 3 versions: the laceless, the laced, and the fold over tongue. Now I've only ever tried the laced, but from talking to other reviewers and watching other reviews as well, I can gather that the sizing of the boot is pretty much consistent across the 3 versions, with maybe subtle differences in terms of maybe lockdown and maybe the kind of volume expansion of the boot. Now, my discussions about the Predator have led me to find a few differences in terms of the overall fit of the boot itself. So sizing wise, I went true to size, and these are like inch perfect. And normally I would say go true to size, but the fit in the forefoot is very, very narrow. And from talking to some people, that we found that the fit in the Predator colorways, where you have this kind of glossy finish on it rather than the kind of matte finish you see on some colorways, the glossier finish, the toe box is a bit narrower. Now, like I said, my feet are quite slim, and even I found this a bit too much. So what I've actually had to do to make sure my feet aren't like in pain while I'm wearing these is either wear a very thin pair of socks, should I say, sorry, or I take out the insoles to play. But the boots with the matte finish seem to be a bit more accommodating to like your, you have a bit more breathing room. So if you do get a colorway which have this kind of glossy finish, my recommendation might be just to get maybe a size up so you have a bit more breathing room in your boots. And when I say a size up, I mean just half a size up. Or if you do prefer that very claustrophobic, very tight fit, I would recommend going true to size. The lockdown in this boot is great regardless, so yeah, do your thing. Now again, in terms of width, this is another subtle difference because of the kind of traditional lace system that you see here with the laced and on the fold over tongue. In terms of like midfoot fit and heel fit, you can actually expand the volume of the boot itself to accommodate more foot types, where you don't have that with the laceless, so bear that in mind. Now with the F50, I've actually tried all 3 versions. Well, not 3, I say 3 out of the 4 versions of the boot. So I've used the messy pair I have here, the laceless, and the laced, but I've not used the plus version. And just like the Predator, the sizing is pretty much consistent between versions with subtle differences in terms of lockdown. However, I've heard the lockdown on the plus model is a bit worse than the normal laceless. Sizing wise, with this version of the boot, I found it was very good true to size. There's pretty much no room in the toe area, which is what I like. And the lockdown is very good, even though the images on screen show there's a lot of dead space in the ankle area. Well, that's just how like most boots fit me because of my very bold legs. And in terms of width, I'd say the F50 has somewhat of a neutral fit. And because of like the, the laceless system in the messy version and in the lace version, they'll be a bit more friendlier to those of you who have wide feet, because you can actually change the volume of the boot a bit more, even though the one on the laced is a bit more compressive. Now, just to touch on the regular laced and laceless, because those are the ones that most people will be getting anyway, there is a subtle difference in how they fit and feel on feet, in my opinion at least. From the brief time that I did have those boots on, I found that the lockdown in the lace is a bit more, secure than you would expect. Of course, you'd expect from a laced boot compared to a laceless. However, I did find overall that the laceless was a bit more comfortable. And if I didn't actually get this model of the messy version, I would have got the laceless, because I actually found it, like, even though lockdown is not going to be as good as on a lace boot, for example, I found the lockdown was still like sufficient enough, and I wear group socks most of the time I play, so it wouldn't have really been an issue anyway. Now, unfortunately, I've not been able to try any versions of the Copa Pure. However, I've done my due diligence and watched reviews, as well as talked to a few people as well. And from what I understand, the boots fit true to size and the width is pretty much accommodating for all foot types. And that's been it for the video, guys. Hopefully you found it helpful. If you have any other sizing recommendations, feel free to leave them down in the comment section, as everyone can need some help when it comes to sizing, because, you know, just one reference isn't necessarily enough sometimes. And sometimes, you know, like I said at the start, it's my opinion, my preferences. You know, the more kind of opinions you get together, you get more of a general sense of how a boot will fit and feel on feet. And so, like always, leave a like. If you want more football boot content, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Like always, my name is Sub. This is Sub's Dance Football. Thank you for watching. See you next time.